So hi everyone, welcome to the Q&A with Mayor Julian Gold. We are back live and we're very excited to be back here. Hey Julian, how are you?
It's great to see you. How have you been?
I'm great. Thank you so much. You've been traveling so much.
It's been a fun time. It's been great.
Great. So we have a lot of good feedbacks from the previous Q&A and we have got a lot of new questions via email, online, in many ways that you guys have sent us, and we're ready to roll. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Well, before we're going to start, I've noticed that you have very nice flowers on your tie. What is it all about?
Well, today's a special day.
Okay.
Our Chamber of Commerce today is holding their Best of the Best, the Golden Palm Awards at the Montage Hotel, where they celebrate people who are expert in their industry and give them an award. You know, the city and the Chamber have a very close relationship, and so it's my privilege to be there attending tonight and welcoming everybody. If you are interested in them, I think there are still tickets available.
Okay.
And people can look at Golden Palm Awards 2018, and it's at the Montage Hotel.
And get it there.
So
okay.
I'm just dressed for the moment.
It should be a black tie though, right?
Well, I'll have to change my tie, but at least I got the suit right.
Okay, that's fine. That's great. Well, let's jump into the first question.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we have Elizabeth and she's asking, hello, Mr. Gold. I love the Summer Ball nights that have recently took place in Beverly Hills, and I'm very curious to know, how did it go? Are there any particular highlights from that initiative?
So everything we have heard, Summer Bowl was very successful. We had record number of people in the city, and the city just felt great. We had all of this entertainment. We tried all kinds of different street art and street performers. You know, I think people like some more than others, some lessons learned there for what we do in the future. But overall, I think the event was really successful. The mark of a real success will be when we see our sales tax revenue, and that we won't see for another 2 or 3 months until we close out the quarter, and that'll tell us what sales were like. But it just felt like it was really successful, and the events were very well attended. We do know that the next Beverly evening, the finale of Bold, was a huge success, and where this was the third year. So the first year we had a couple of thousand people, and the second year we had 3,000 people, and this year we had at least 5,000 people there.
Wow.
So we know we really got the message out and people attended it. And not only that, but this year for next night, we had added in all of this programming for young people, for kids, and that was very successful. One of the vendors, in fact, who had come to help us with that, sold out of everything. They just had nothing left.
Wow.
Clearly, that was really successful, and all the reviews of that were really great. People loved the music. They loved the entertainment.
It was amazing, I can tell.
Yeah, it was a very high energy night. So we're going to continue Bold.
Okay.
We're using the Bold as an umbrella for, you know, advertising Beverly Hills as being alive and awake and energetic and enthusiastic. And it will continue in the wintertime. We're in the process of finalizing what the elements of that are. In fact, it's to the City Council tomorrow for approval. But it's very similar. There will be a kickoff evening in November with some well-known performers. And on the weekends, we're going to have entertainment in the street. One of the things that was really successful this year, we had a board that was put up on Rodeo Drive, and the question it said is, where in the world are you from?
Wow.
And within a couple of hours, we had the board filled with many of the countries of the world. And over the course of the time that the board was up, I think we probably got just about every country in the world. And people were very proud to put up the country they're from. So this wintertime, we're going to change it up a little bit. And actually, we're going to call it the Peace Wall.
Okay.
And we're going to ask people to write the word peace in their native language.
Where is it going to be?
I think it'll be on Rodeo. We don't have the exact location yet, but we think that people are very proud of their heritage, and certainly in the holiday season, the message of peace is universal.
Right.
So we think this is a way to build on this notion of who's in Beverly Hills and the fact that it's so multinational, and at the same time to provide energy around the notion of peace in the holiday season.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Sounds amazing. Wow.
Should be a lot of fun.
Really look forward for that.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. We're going to jump into the next question now. So we have George from Beverly Drive, and he's asking, we hear that La Cienega Park may be renovated. Would you please give some details about that?
Great question. So La Cienega Park has not been renovated in decades, and the community building there, which has served us very well, really is in need of some love. In fact, it's in need of so much love that we're not sure we can fix it.
Okay.
You know? So we're going to fix it temporarily, but the park, this is an opportunity for us, especially being that that area will change and the subway is going to be there and such. That area, that park is really divided by La Cienega Boulevard there. The park kind of has two sides to it. It's got the one side that's got the tennis courts and Fenton Field and parking. It's got the other side that is more play fields and some passive area. And so the real question is, what can we do to make it one park? And in doing so, if we're going to program things there, what could we do that would allow us to add to what the community wants and to really just build a brand new park? So right now, we are in the process of collecting information. We hired a consultant to be very aggressive with the community in asking the question, what do you want? You know, what are the kinds of things you would like to see in the new La Cienega Park? And
how does he reach to the audience?
Good question. Okay. So there are cards that people can fill out, and we send them out periodically. But it's also available online. There's a survey online that you can take where you can fill in what you want. There are focus groups. So I think there are 3. I think we've done 1, where people can just come to the park and just speak about what it is that they'd like to see there. These consultants are going to take all of that information and they're going to put it together in a report to the city council. And that will tell us what is the kind of programming that we think we ought to have. And from there we could begin to talk about how would we build it. Now that we know what we want to put there, how would we build it? But amongst the things, and if people are going to actually contribute their ideas, you shouldn't hesitate, even if you think it's a screwy idea, because there's nothing we won't consider. We're actually talking about putting a walking path over La Cienega.
Oh, wow.
Not just a bridge, but actually a place where people can walk. Maybe it'll be decorated, you know, and it'll combine the two sides of the park. You know, there's nothing that we won't consider. Now is the time for people to make their opinions known, and we're really reaching out to the community to say, if you use the park, if you have thoughts about the park, if your kids use the park, what are the kinds of things that you want to see in the park? Now's the time to tell us before we begin to develop plans. Now's the time for us to have everybody's opinion.
And where can they approach? I mean, you said there's online. Are they going to the city website?
Yep, it's www.beverlyhillsruntogether.org, and there you will see the link to the La Cienega Park conversation and the survey that you can take.
Great. Okay, wonderful. I'm going to the next question. So Jordan has been wondering, hello sir, I'm 24 years old, a college student, and I rent a small place at Rodeo Drive. I have heard that the rent control has changed. Would you share some more details about this, please?
Good question too. For over a year, actually for about 18 months, we've been talking about rent control and beyond rent control, rent stabilization. We've had a series of city council meetings. We've had a series of dialogues that were facilitated by Professor Singh, who's a mediator from Pepperdine University. And most recently, we hired a consultant to sort of tell us, what the world of rent stabilization looks like, what other cities have done, what our options might be for a whole list of parts. It's not just about how much can my rent get raised, but it's also about, is there going to be a commission that will hear grievances Are we going to have habitability standards? And if so, what are they? What happens with earthquake retrofit, and whether or not the costs of that can get passed through to the tenant, and if so, in what context? And so there are probably a dozen or so, maybe more issues that all have to get put together in a way that makes sense. So the consultant has taken a stab at this. They presented to the council about a month ago now. The public has had 2 opportunities to give their opinion about what that report looked like. And the council has had the first of 2 meetings to hear back the feedback on the report and to begin a conversation about what our ordinance would look like. The second meeting of the council's special study session will be on Thursday morning at 10 o'clock in the morning in the City Council chamber. That's this Thursday morning at 10 o'clock in the morning, where the council will once again hear the report. The reason that we're doing it in the morning is to offer, for those people who cannot come in the evening, an opportunity to come address the council and express their concerns and tell us their feelings about the report. It's my expectation that, having had this second session, the council will continue its deliberation. And I hope that at the end of this study session, we'll be able to at least create a framework that city staff can take back, and in the next month or so, come back to the council with a draft ordinance and one which we can fine tune. So I don't expect that at the end of Thursday we're going to know the answer to the questions, but I think that we will at least understand the broad framework for the final discussion of what this ordinance should look like. And cautiously optimistic that if we can get to that we may be able to have a rent stabilization ordinance in place by the end of the calendar year. So that's my goal, is to get that done.
And on Thursday, where is it going to be? Is it open for public people?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's open to the public. It's Thursday. It's in the City Council chamber. It is a regular study session type meeting of the City Council. There will be input from the public. Again, HR&A, the consultant, will make their presentation. Also that of the conversation that the community had after. And perhaps a summary of what we did last week. And people have an opportunity to tell us what they think. And after that, the council is going to talk amongst itself about what it is that we think would make sense going forward.
So if you want to take part and give your input about the rent control, please come on Thursday.
That's exactly right. We want to hear you.
Yes, great. So I have the next question coming from Ellen, and she's asking, will the mayor ever hold a meet and greet at the farmers market?
Well, we love the farmers market. We have one of the best farmers markets. For those of you who don't know, we are very determined to ensure that all of the produce is grown locally, sourced locally, is organic. It really is a true farmers market. Greta, who runs it, is amazing as how she does this. And I actually like walking through the farmers market. It's always
one of my favorite places.
Isn't it fun on a Sunday morning? I do that. And I do it periodically. I get myself a cup of coffee and I'll wander around and I'll chat with people. As to a formal meet and greet, I've done a couple. I've done it as part of Public Works Day, and I did it a little bit around the Pickle Fest when we had the pickle eating contest.
We talked about it in the past Q&A as well.
Yeah, and so, but I think it's not a bad idea that I'll find an opportunity to be in the farmers market. We'll announce it somewhere in the next couple of months. We can do that. I think it's a good idea. We're doing Meet the Mayors all over the city.
Right.
We've picked, different areas, and people have come to just kind of chat. And the idea is that we get people in their neighborhood. We can talk about local issues. Yeah, there are complete things, things that affect the whole city. People want to talk about, but there are also things that are very, very micro. That are really only their block or their couple of blocks or their friends or whatever. People want to talk about that. So we've kind of gotten out into the community to be doing that. And I think that doing one in farmers market is probably a great idea. We'll just extend that, and we'll put that as a location for one of the Meet the Mayors.
Thank you, Ellen, for this idea.
Great idea,
this
Ellen.
Is great.
I look forward to seeing you there.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm going to jump to the next question, coming from Ray. I understand that you and Vice Mayor are going to New York at the end of this month with the Chamber of Commerce, actually. So what is it all about?
So we talked a little bit about tonight and the Chamber's awards. The city and the Chamber of Commerce actually have a really nice relationship. We're partners. The Chamber's success and the city's success are really tied together because the businesses are very important to the quality of life in Beverly Hills. And so the city does what it can to try and support the businesses and the Chamber in their support of the businesses. So for years now, we've done what we call an attraction and retention meeting, where, because many of our businesses do come from New York, this is an opportunity for the Chamber to go talk to the leadership of businesses that are already in our city, just to make sure that things are okay. And at the same time, to identify businesses in New York that we think might have a nice niche in Beverly Hills and see if we can recruit them here. So this is that annual meeting, and traditionally it's both the mayor, the vice mayor, members of the Chamber. We meet the CBB while we're there also. We have a very full itinerary. We divide up into two groups. One the mayor leads, one the vice mayor leads, and off we go. Actually, the Chamber leads it. It's really the Chamber's meeting, but the mayor and the vice mayor there are in support. You know, a lot of there are very few cities that spend this sort of energy trying to both retain and attract business. And I think that the businesses we go talk to appreciate that. And for us, it's an opportunity. The businesses we talk to give us insight into our city that we might not otherwise have. They have a broader view of the world,
right,
and they also have a more objective view of Beverly Hills. And so for us, there's a lot of information we get by talking to folks who are not physically here.
Is it something that people at home can see somehow, part of meetings or anything that is going to be public, or not? Just
these are private meetings. These are private meetings. I may do a mayor's minute from New York City.
Perfect.
I may do that. But other than something like that, or maybe even more than one, depending on what's going on. But these are private meetings, and
right. Okay.
But if there's new and different, exciting things, we'll show you.
Okay, we're all curious. Me too.
We'll show you.
Okay. So last but not least, there's going to be the Beverly Hills Art Show. Okay, right next week. It's going to be a fantastic one, I heard, and it's free to public. Do you want to share a few more details about that event?
Sure. So this is the affair in the garden. You know, we do this, the Beverly Hills Art Show. This we've done for 40-something years. It's a great community event. We get a lot of people. There are going to be almost 250 artists.
Amazing.
And it's curated so that we don't always have the same artists. We have a variety so that if you walk through it year over year, it looks different, you know. And there's some that are the same, but mostly they're different. And it's fun, it's free. There's food and drink if you want. Hopefully the weather will cooperate.
What are the dates?
It's Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, great.
Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
The mayor traditionally once a year gets to pick an art piece.
Wow.
Which I already did. I did in the spring. This is now the fall. In fact, it's being installed as we speak in front of the Public Works building.
Wow.
So in the next couple of weeks, you'll see that the mayor's pick for spring. And the last time I was mayor, I picked an art piece which is hanging in the Roxbury Park Community Center. So it's really cool. There's some beautiful artwork, and if you're decorating or looking for something to do with your house, or just looking for a fun afternoon in a beautiful park, you know, and all our parks have been redone. This whole stretch of Beverly Gardens Park has been redone, so you can see all the amazing work that went into that. Even once you get past the art, if you walk across the street, you can walk through the cactus garden, which is just gorgeous. So
it's actually going to be on 4 blocks, right?
It is on 4 blocks. It goes from Cannon to Rodeo, and but as I said,
right, okay.
Or maybe Rexford to Rodeo.
It's Rexford to Rodeo.
Rexford to Rodeo.
The 4 of them.
The 4 blocks, and But don't miss the cactus garden, which is not part of it, but is just really something special to see.
Thank you very much, Julian.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this.
A big pleasure.
I love it.
And the community always gives good feedbacks about those Q&As because we are here to listen to your questions. If anything was written also during the video was shown, then we're going to check it out and answer it later. We look forward for the next Q&A and for the next updates.
I love it. And in the meantime, if there are things on your mind that you want us to address, you can send it to the City Council email, or you can send it to me, jgold at beverlyhills.org, and we will get back to you.
Right. And don't forget to follow Mr. Gold on his Instagram, which is?
At GoldJMD, GoldJMD.
Okay. And on his Facebook, Julian Gold. And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
See you next time. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.